If you're a first-time home buyer or even a renter right now looking to take the leap of faith into home ownership and don't really have a full understanding of the process that it takes to get into or even buying a home, then this video is going to be for you, so stick around. Hey everyone, my name is Randy Ahmad. Here in this video, I'm going to talk about the process, the steps that it takes to get you from just searching for your home and then moving you and then transitioning into your new home. And the process itself can be overwhelming. Of course, it can be exhilarating, it can be exciting, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. But there are a lot of ups and downs, there are going to be a lot of moving parts, and I'm here to help you become more informed, better educated on the home buying process. So let's get started. So a couple of prerequisites here before we get into the home buying process and what it's going to take to get you into your new home. You've got to have a full understanding of your financial situation. Now that includes how much you have saved up in your savings account. Do you have a budget in mind for what your expenses are going to be, your running expenses, your monthly expenses for running your home? And that goes above and beyond just your mortgage and interest payments, okay? Some homes include HOAs, CDD fees that you're going to have to incorporate into that. And a lot of time lenders are not going to give you that information because they just don't have that information handy. So you're going to have to allocate for that and budget for that accordingly. In addition, you've got your running expenses. So do you have repairs that you're going to have to take care of? Things, especially if it's not a new construction home, inevitably something might possibly break. It could be your AC, your HVAC system. It could be your sprinkler system. It could be a number of things. So you want to have that set aside, have some money set aside for that as well. And you've got other things that you typically don't. You've got expenses that you typically don't have if you're renting, for example. That includes lawn maintenance. Okay, you're gonna have to. Are you gonna hire somebody to do that? Or are you gonna do it you're gonna do it by yourself? If you're gonna do it on your own, you need to have your equipment, obviously. So there are a lot of things, a lot of moving parts that are involved. So that out the way. Now let's get to the first step of the home buying process, and that is to. Sorry, it's not looking for a home. It is, you're gonna have to know how much you're gonna be able to afford, and a lender is gonna be able to help you do that. So you need to get pre-approved for a loan, and that includes reaching out to a lender, whether it's through your real estate agent, or if you already have somebody in mind, reach out to them. And they're gonna pull your credit, so that's gonna be a given. And a lot of times, that number that they give you, again, don't take that for granted. Like that is, they're going to cap it out. They're going to say, hey, listen, you're approved for $300,000, but that doesn't mean you need to go and buy a $300,000 home. Okay. So again, remember, you got some other expenses that need to be included, including your property taxes. So make sure you have that budgeted for as well. Now, the reason that you want to get pre-approved is when you go and you're searching for homes now, and you see a home that you like, you're gonna make an offer on that home. And a lot of times, listing agents and the homeowner selling their property, if you're gonna place an offer, they're gonna wanna see A, proof of funds if you're paying cash for the property, or B, they wanna be able to know that, hey, you've been pre-approved for a loan, and that's gonna put you in a position to move over to the next step. Anyways, so very, very important for step one is that you get pre-approved through a mortgage lender. Again, that's if you're not going to be paying cash. If you're going to be paying cash, then you need to have your bank statement ready showing proof of funds. Now that we've done with step one here in the pre-approval process, working through a lender, we're going to go into step two. I do want to clarify something before moving on to step two, and that is, as you're working with a mortgage lender, you don't need to have all your ducks in a row, so to speak, in order to get pre-approved, okay? And they are going to ask you for your income, they are going to ask you for your social, so they're able to pull your credit and see where you stand. But again, the amount that they give you is going to be what you qualify for, but this is all preliminary, okay? As you place your offer on that, once you find your home and you place the offer, at that point it becomes really serious, and they're gonna ask you for a lot of official documents, and that's gonna include your pay stubs, your financial statements, your bank statements. It could be a lot of things. Okay, are you getting a gift? Then you need to have a letter from the person that's giving you a gift. So these are the types of things that they're going to ask you for, and you just need to be prepared for it. But your mortgage lender will let you know accordingly as you move forward. Now, how much they give you, how much they approve you for, that's going to be dependent on your credit, your income, and how much you're going to be able to put down towards the home. I recommend that if you're able to put down 20%, it's better for you from a financial perspective, because you're gonna avoid paying PMI, which is mortgage insurance. Okay, that's going to be a payment in and of itself above and beyond your principal and interest payment. And then don't forget, you got HOA fees or CDD fees if it applies to the neighborhood that you're buying your home in. So again, you don't necessarily have to have all your financial statements and everything like that initially when you reach out to a lender, but just kind of have that in the back of your mind that you're going to need to have those things ready. So one other question that I usually get is, well, how much do I need to have for closing? What are my closing costs going to be if you're a buyer? Generally speaking, it depends on the loan type, but generally speaking, you need to have anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe even 5% of the purchase price allocated for closing costs. Now that you got your lender situation out of the way, it's time to move over to step 2, and that is to start the home search process. Now, you can have a couple of things to do. You can do this on your own, okay, or you can hire a realtor to help do that for you. Okay, so now that we're moving away from the boring stuff of getting pre-approved for a loan, now we get into the fun stuff and start looking for your new home. Now, when you're looking for your home, it's really easy to get carried away and into a rabbit hole of looking at a bunch of different properties. The main thing that I can suggest here is you really need to narrow down your search, focusing on what is important to you as a new homeowner. What's more important to you? Are you looking for the perfect neighborhood? Are you looking to be in a great school district? What's important to you? Aside from the number of bedrooms and the number of bathrooms, that's the easy stuff. The square footage, that's the easy stuff. They're far. You'll find a lot of homes that are going to meet your criteria in terms of number of bedrooms and number of bathrooms and square footage. No. You really need to focus what's important to you. Word of caution, right? So you're not getting caught off guard. You're going to make your wish list. You're going to have a list of, hey, these are all the things that are important to me as a home buyer. As you go out there in the real world, it doesn't necessarily work out that way. Okay, you're going to have to be flexible. There's going to have to be some give and take, and you may have to narrow down the top 3 criteria that, hey, they're non-negotiables. That's fine. Just be ready. If you're looking to buy, as you start looking for homes, nothing out there. You're just going to have to be flexible. Is what I'm getting. What I'm trying to say here. So, if you're really just sticking to your guns and no, I've got a list of 10 things and this is all I'm going to look at and this is exactly what I want. I got to be real. You're going to make it very tough, and you're going to be in the market looking for a very long time. And chances are you may not find everything that's going to check off those boxes on your wish list. So be realistic, essentially. So now that you've narrowed down your criteria, your real estate agent will go to work for you, okay? Typically the way I kind of work it out is I will send you a list based on your criteria. I will send you a listings, depending on the availability in the market, but generally speaking, I will send you a list of homes anywhere from 10 to 12 homes that you take a look at. Out of the 10 to 12 homes, you'll narrow down your search to about 5 or 6, okay? Then we'll go out and take a look at those homes. And then from that list of homes, you'll narrow it down to about 2 or 3. And from those 2 or 3, you'll say, all right, this is the one that I want to make my offer on. Which brings us into the next section right now of making your offer. So now that you've found your home, the next step in the process is to make the offer and make it official. What we're going to do is I'm going to fill out your realtor, your real estate agent will go ahead and draw up the contract. Now, luckily, we live in the age of technology. Nothing has to be handwritten no more. Everything is done via so either email, DocuSign, that sort of thing. Everything can be drawn out and signed electronically. We'll fill out the necessary paperwork. You'll sign it. I take that information. I'll take the contract or the offer and send it over to the listing agent. The listing agent is going to, depending on how they handle the process themselves, but generally speaking, they'll present our offer to the seller. Now, the seller at this point has three options. Number one, they can A, accept it, B, kick it back to us and reject it altogether, or C, say, hey, listen, they'll amend it. Say, all right, we want to negotiate. They're going to want to negotiate. Either they're going to up the price, whatever that may be. At that point, we have a decision to make. So if they accept it, great, we're under contract, and that's going to move us into step 4 of the process. But if they were to come back to us and say, all right, we're not happy with the price, they jack it up, at that point we have a couple of options. We can either A, walk away, or just say, all right, we agree to it, and we just move forward. For sakes of this video, we're just going to assume that they agreed to our offer, and now we move into the next step of the process. Okay, just a quick recap here. Number one, you're going to get pre-approved for the loan. Then you're going to start the home search process, and then you find the home that you like, and you're going to make that offer. Now, once the offer is accepted, we move into the fourth item on the list in the home buying process, and that is this is going to be the first step where you're going to cough up some money, and you're going to make an earnest deposit. Now, this just shows the seller that, hey, I'm serious, and you're willing to move on to the process. Now, once that's made, you don't make it out. You don't make the check. You don't make the check out payable to the home owner. Nope. It goes and it's made to the title company. The title company are going to hold the money in escrow, and essentially they're going to use that money towards the down payment of your home. Okay, so you don't lose that money in any way. The earnest money amount is generally speaking around 1%, but as a real estate agent, I look in the best interest of you and want you to put in the least amount of money and bear the least amount of risk in case something were to happen. Now, the earnest money is refundable. Okay, there are a couple of situations where you're able to get that money back. Number one, it could be financing didn't go through. Okay, you were working with your lender and you didn't qualify for whatever reason. The second thing that you can walk away from free and clear could be through the inspection itself. So once we're going to get into that in just a second, but if the inspection, your home inspector discovered a few items on the list and you weren't comfortable with those, you walk away. Okay, now there's a couple of legal documents that you have to fill in, but nevertheless, those are the ways that you can typically walk away from and get your money refunded. So once you made your escrow payment, we're into what we call the inspection period. The inspection period, again, is defined in the contract, but let's just say it's anywhere from 10 to 14, 15 days. And during that time, we're going to want to hire an inspector, a home inspector. The home inspector is going to go over there and they're going to check a lot of things. They're going to check a lot of the high ticket stuff. They're going to check the roof for leaks. They're going to check the HVAC system, your AC, make sure that works. Okay, they're going to look at other high ticket items like your electronics, your refrigerator, dishwasher. Is there a washer and dryer in there? They're going to check those as well, make sure that they're functional. And then once their inspection is done, they're going to provide us with a report. The second ticket item that you're going to have to pay for is the inspector. And depending on the size of the home, the square footage of the home, it can run anywhere from $350 to $500. Let's just say on average it's around $400 to hire an inspector. The inspection generally runs anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on the size of the home. And once they're done with that inspection, they're going to provide us with a report. Now, a lot of deals can break down in this period because personalities start to shine, pride starts to take over, buyers feel that the seller should pay, and the seller should think, hey, this is it's something small, they need to overlook it. And this is where good real estate agents with experience come into play, can overcome a lot of these matters. But this is the time period where buyers can walk away from a home and a lot of times get their money back, get their earnest money back. But it's during the inspection period that it's very, very critical that this gets done, and done in a very timely manner. Because once the inspection period is over, that's it. You can't walk away without penalty, and the penalty could be you could lose your earnest money. Now that we're just going to assume that everything was great, everything was fine. we move into we're going to go back to the lending process. Okay, we're moving along over here. Now that we're past the inspection, we're done with that. There are a lot of moving parts happening at the same time, but for purposes of this video, we've broken down into steps. Now, again, since we're done with the home inspection, we're done, we're not clear yet. Meanwhile, the lender is asking you for a lot of documents. So you're submitting documents back and forth, okay? The lender is gonna order an appraisal. The appraiser is gonna head over there and just make sure, they're gonna check comps, they're gonna check the neighborhood, they're gonna make sure that the price that we're paying for the house is fair market value. Now, a couple of things can happen over here. Number one, the appraisal comes in at market value, which 9 times out of 10, that's what's gonna happen. But if the appraisal comes in above, so you're paying $300,000 for the home, the appraisal comes in at 320, congratulations, you just earned instant equity. The issue comes in if the appraisal comes in below market. Now the bank is saying, hey, we don't want to pay, if you're paying 300 but the appraisal came in at 290, something's got to give. The bank is not going to loan you. So you can either A, compensate for that difference, or a lot of times what's going to happen is we're going to go back to the seller and ask them to adjust. Now if they agree, they agree. If not, we can walk away. But that's typically what's going to happen. So we're going to just assume here again that the appraisal came in okay, we're moving forward, now you are ready to move. Okay, now that we've got all the boring stuff out of the way, your lending stuff is all done, you're in home inspection, now we're in the final stretch. And here we are, we need to prepare to move. In this process, you're going to want to go ahead and look for home insurance policy. Now, your real estate agent can suggest a couple to you, or you can just go ahead and reach out to your current, you want to bundle your deal together, so reach out to your car insurance carrier and see if they can give you a good deal when you bundle. Either way, just make sure that you're getting a good deal here. At the same time, you want to go ahead and have a checklist of things that you're going to need to do to get yourself ready to move into your new home. This includes contacting your local utility companies, your electric company, your water company. If you're in a home or an apartment, you want to go ahead and let them notify them that you're getting ready to move. And then you're going to reach out to the moving company, a truck, and get ready to pack. At the same time, here we are, we're going to pack, you're going to get boxes, you're going to label everything, just have everything ready to go. At the same time, you want to know and have a good understanding of who the new utility company is going to be if it's in a different city, for example. So again, utility companies, electric, water, gas, cable, have everything ready to go, and now you're prepared to move, and we're getting ready to get to the closing table, which is our final thing to do to get ready to move into your new home. You've hit the home run, your day of closing is upon us right now, and here you're going to make sure that you're going to go to the bank. It's going to be a hectic day. You're going to go out to your bank, and one thing I want to make sure here is that you want to have the financing done before. So you want to have your money ready that you're going to need to close with, done and ready to go before the day of closing. Don't do everything on the day of closing. So you're going to reach out to your bank, let them know what the amount that you needed to close with ready. If it's a certified check, make sure they have that ready so that on the day of closing you can deliver the check, certified check, or get the wire done, because the title company is going to need to confirm A, that they received the certified check, or B, that they received the wire funds. You can't close without either. Okay, so make sure that those are done and you're being proactive with that. So you're going to go to the closing table, you're going to go to the title company and sign a bunch of documents. A lot of them are going to be loan documents, property documents. Expect to stay anywhere from an hour, maybe 2 hours signing documents. And then congratulations, you are a new homeowner. You want to make sure a couple of things. Obviously the keys to the house, the garage door opener, if there's a pool, if you live in a community with a pool, so you want to make sure that you receive the fob for that, keys, anything like that, you want to make sure that you have. If there are any combinations, locks, anything like that, you want to make sure that you get all of that on the day of closing. And then congratulations, you've just bought yourself a new home, and that's it. That's essentially it. So just to kind of break it down, you're going to go through the pre-approval process, you're going to search for homes, you're going to make an offer, you're gonna make your escrow payment. Your lender, meanwhile, your lender is going to be asking you for some documents. They're going to order the appraisal. You're going to order the home insurance policy. You're going to get ready to move. So prepare to move, and then closing table. So it is. You get the process right there in front of you. It wasn't so bad. As long as you have somebody by your side that can walk you through, streamline the process. And in turn, now you've become an educated and informed buyer. And that's the whole purpose of it. And just don't forget, when you have the housewarming party, don't forget to invite your real estate agent and get your gift. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the section below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks a lot.